Action concerns?
I do not. I have none.
I have none.
Motion to approve.
That's a motion. I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, opposed, motion carries. Thank you. All right, so we have one item to deal with. We need,
No,
you got to take care of.
yes, we got an extension before,
All right,
between then and now.
okay, good, thank you. All right, so our first applicant would be you have to help me out with the name here, Nadir. What's the last name? I'll put you on a spot. All right.
I'm sorry, can you turn the button on the man? Thank you. Thank you very much.
You-
My name's Dave Chapman, here on behalf of the applicant, who is now the owner of the property. Forester that located in townships, commercial zoning, commercial sector. I think the board might recall that we were here maybe on sketch review.
Oh. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Seems like a lifetime ago.
Yeah.
And I think that's a very valuable guidance, certainly for staff, and ultimately developing this land development plan. As the board is aware, this property is about 4.8 acres. As stated, it's located in the Plank district. It's kind of heavily vegetated now. The applicant is proposing to square foot commercial building. 14 for contract services. Steve, I want to offer one apology. I had prepared a narrative a long time ago for the application that we may not have. But
Sure.
it was
Thank you.
as you know, part of the plan application was a little narrative about the use.
Yep.
And some of the other particulars.
Thank you.
So as you may recall, the owner is in the business of repairing and or delivering actually appliances for some of the bigger box retailers, where they would pick it up, go deliver it, take it away, the old stuff. Every once in a while, they engage in repairs, a type of truck traffic. But as we discussed during sketch review and for this particular project, is really just a box truck kind of traffic. It's where most people that will come in in the morning, be out most of the day, and if they have and they'll come back at night to park. There's not a lot, there's no in and out, there's no retail sales, there's no tractor trailer deliveries or anything.
So are they warehousing or just bringing their own,
Just
bringing product in
really
to work on?
repair. It's not warehousing because they're not taking, well, like what we're used to. They don't have that 50 refrigerator sitting in there.
Right.
It's more of, they may pick up or get, my guess is they pick up, they bring it to the shop, and then they go out for delivery. What happens is when they're doing the repair and replace, or install and replace, they take the old ones back to their shop. See if it could be worthwhile to, whatever they do. A lot of times it just gets sold and scrapped.
Right.
So, so the good news is that I think we said in there that there's about maybe 6 to 8 employees potentially in the business shifts, but they're going to be spending most of their days. For purposes of some of the other basic information about the development, it's going to be online, on-site sewage, the new letter that we received from Mr. Beru, which the good news is I can tell you it's almost mostly not entirely a local buyer, just a couple of small items. That would be worth discussing with you guys only because to personal opinions of it. It has to do with mostly the buffer of the existing vegetation. We're not necessarily asking for any waivers or, or we're not in a position where we don't want anything to buffer to do what's necessary on the ordinance. We just have a lot of existing vegetation. So I don't know which is the best way for the board as you guys evaluate that, or, I know we probably need to clean up and resubmit maybe Steve and our engineer, this is the site, come back with where it needs to be enhanced, whether what we have is existing vegetation along Bedford Pike is sufficient for the street setup. If not, we'll go. The one thing that is good, do we have the maps? All right, yeah, so we have a little bit of a version of the site plan up there. One of the things that I know was asked of us previously was to do whatever improvements we put on Forest Road. So the applicant is proposing that, I think some widening, resurfacing, of our frontage. I think one of the things we were able to determine during the sketch plan stage is that Bethlehem Pike didn't need any more widening. Just a question of curb and sidewalk. That's on our waiver list. I think we kind of figured maybe that would be more appropriate for staff as well. But that's what we see as our issues. Justin Denard is with me from Boston Mountain Engineering. If we have any like very specific, I wish I could tell you it's a lot more. There's a lot more to it. Any of the stormwater management that's being proposed will comply with some comments. Like I said, I think our biggest issue is what can we take advantage of these photos we have for existing, and it's hard to evaluate probably from just the photos. But if boards inclined and certain photos, be happy to site visit and walk in.
I mean, I checked it out myself. I mean, there's a lot of trees. They might need some enhancement.
And one of the questions was, tell me if I'm wrong, but one of the buffer requirements is the use of arborvitae towards the rear, which I don't know if that was a zoning requirement versus a standard requirement. Instead, it needed to be enhanced. We were thinking the arborvitae may be appropriate because I guess our existing tree cover would shade it. Justin was telling me, so if there's room to enhance it.
Yeah, we generally have not had a problem with alternating, types of plantings for the
Sure.
situation. I have no objection to going out and taking a look at the site. Sometimes what we do in these situations, though, even if we look at them, it's never the same when you look at it now than it is after they clear the site for the building construction. And even if we come to some general consensus, I think it's still usually appropriate to put a note on the plan that says it'll be reanalyzed, after the clearing is done. Because sometimes, you think there's a full line of trees, but 3 of them happen to be dead trees. And once you clear everything out and dead trees come down, all of a sudden you have gaps in the area. So as long as there's some notation on a plan that says, it'll be reviewed again and a final determination made for any additional plantings. That generally works.
Or even as at some point we get to the point where we get approval that
Right.
at the time before we'll do the site work first, probably put it start. And once the site work for clearing is done, evaluation and
Right.
Yeah, and I think the area of concern is, plan north on that sheet. There's a residential property on the other side of this. Bethlehem Pike, I imagine those trees are fine for street trees along Bethlehem Pike. It's all boulders and
Right.
trees there anyway. Forest Road, it doesn't matter how much it opens up with work. You might need to do some extra street trees along Forest, depending on what gets cleared for the frontage improvements.
That works for us.
Is the entrance, can that go, I guess I would call that east on Forest? Just get farther away from the intersection? Or, I mean, there is a hill there, so I don't know what the best location for that entrance would be.
The reason we kept it a little bit more towards the middle there, it's a good spot, one, for the building and the flow of traffic going through.
Right.
And given that we have one residential abutment, I wanted to try to keep it off of that property line that you're asking who could possibly slide it up further. I wanted to keep that. This is the residential property here.
Right.
I wanted to keep it, give a little bit more buffer there.
Right.
There's some utility poles in there and stuff like that. I didn't want to have to relocate too many of those.
Gotcha. you know what the distance is from Bethlehem Pike to the entrance?
Not often, sorry.
Your traffic people thought you were all right with the way it's set up.
Yeah, we did have a traffic study completed, for report analysis. And, when we were at the sketch plan meeting, back in, say, January 25, somewhere around there, it will only be box trucks.
Right.
And then the movement exiting property will only be left, get out. That will have like that. So there will not be a right hand turn to go plan north on, Forest Road. there.
Right. So only left out. Can they come in from that Bethlehem side?
Coming in from,
Left hand in.
You say, yeah, left hand in, I guess would be the best way. to put it.
oh, so, okay, coming down the
Yeah,
plan there.
yeah.
I'm not sure how I would limit those movements.
Right.
Depending on who may be dropping off, the refrigerator or whatever it may be. I'm open to suggestions, but it's gonna be tough to
Right.
try to limit that traffic movement coming into the property.
No, I
But
understand.
at least leaving the property.
Right.
Hold that.
Well, I imagine we'd have to sign it for no trucks left.
And
Right
if that's-
turns,
If that's
yeah.
what we have to do, and I'm not sure what the next road crossing is, on Forest there, but I believe that.
Oh, that's-
the township boundary line. That's what.
Did it?
Yeah.
Well, Bethlehem Pike.
Up the other way on. Forest?
Yeah.
It's yeah, the other
Bethlehem
side.
Pike on
You
this
got
side.
Bethlehem Pike on one side
Between
and
Bethlehem Pike and Old Bethlehem.
Yes,
Pike.
okay.
or Old 309 and.
So.
Just to keep it confusing.
Do they have a facility anywhere else? You know?
I think that might be the case. But yeah, the only we probably have to do that. I'll get more stuff.
Right. All right, I'll tell you what, would you mind just running down the Steve's list here? If it's a will comply, just say it's will comply. Steve, if you think we want to have a little more discussion on their will complies, can you jump in?
Sure.
So starting with, item one about, resource protection and site capacity calculation, we'll revise the plan accordingly. The widening along Forest Road. Steve was asking for some,
Yeah, basically, you showed the widening. I needed to clarify this roadside swale and restoration along the side of the road.
Number three was the site frontage along Button Pike, partway width is okay. There's I guess essentially a waiver for the side of it. The partial traffic analysis, we'd ask for him to look at some additional language that's gonna like site distances, but we'll get all that. We'll have to get that. I think we'd ask, which I would probably my plan. Which is what item five is, so that's essentially what we provide.
One thing on that, I noticed in that summary, it says it'll be served by public water and sewer.
That's on the narrative?
Yeah.
Gotcha.
And I think we have noted further down, that is in a water and sewer district. Should public water and sewer ever be extended there, you'd be expected to be connected.
Then proposed parking, needed to connection, that's what five. The lighting plan, it seemed like that was more of a note, Steve, but they said that needs to apply as well. Sidewalk detail, I mean, is this township standard? To apply. Recreation crews will apply, and then the rest. And. Dustin says there's a problem. And we were talking a little about 11, about the walk around for landscaping. Which I think probably the best bet is to do a planned site visit between now and our next meeting. Some landscape plan. And then, Steve was talking about number 12, that if we are going to be proposing septic as well. We have the primary reserve septic. We're going to submit planning on stuff like that. There's no problem. Again, if number 13 was to note if we public sewer and water become available, we will connect. Number 14 was talking about truck turning movements and providing for the knock box, which is the 15 about getting an NPDS permit, and permit, that's no problem. The cut and fill grading calculation. We submitted to document balance and site design for Justin as excited. The ultimate, the area built right away will be dedicated. Those are no problems for the streets. The development of financial security agreements, no problem. Any waivers that we submitted in writing, there was a waivers. Waivers on that. We're not looking for, we're not, I think they were had to do with the stuff that we were talking about.
No, well, just commenting, it was not, there was not a waiver letter. Maybe that was with your narrative.
It's submitted the.
June 30th.
Is it submitted after?
I believe so.
Okay.
July 6th.
All right.
That might have been the case.
You're right. Greg. No. Yeah.
And number 20. Construction. This-
I want to go, can I go back a minute? Absolutely. On the cut and fill, I usually make another note about topsoil. I did not in this particular letter. Township has a requirement / policy. The topsoil is not allowed to be taken out of the township, not off the site. I don't know with this site how much usable topsoil you're going to generate, but just beware that that'll probably end up as a condition when the plan is ultimately approved. That it's usually in the development agreement that you agree that the topsoil will remain on the site or within the township. It's more of a problem in a farm field than it is a site like this.
You have anything else, Steve?
I don't know where they're getting rid of the boulders though. That's-
Looking for a wall?
If somebody attempted to break those before, saw a couple holes in there. So
Yeah.
I think there was an attempt made at one point.
Expansive grout.
Oh my-
Yes.
There's a lot of those fields that people used to mine, I mean, quarry out of them. Cut rock out of those. It would be interesting.
Talk about waivers.
Waiver, yeah, I looking over this list, I think it's gonna need to be clarified because they listed all the carway widening, overlay paving, curb and sidewalk. But you need to do the overlay paving and widening on Forest. Curb and sidewalk on both roads is, to be discussed by the board. I think that's just gonna need a clarification. And then whether or not you need any additional waivers once you get through that parking lot section, I have a feeling you're gonna end up asking for a waiver of something.
I believe
the
it
parking
might
lot.
be the islands.
Right.
That was one
Yeah.
item that I was going to discuss, but I think it's kind of moving towards the islands themselves. Plantings we can get across the parkway there. But
Have you looked
the
at,
islands will be-
have you looked at the shading calculations for the park? You think you can meet that with existing
I think a
and
lot of the trees.
will
existing
count? Yeah.
canopies will assist with
Okay. That oftentimes becomes a problem on a commercial lot where you don't have islands to get additional landscaping in.
What color's the roof? White. If you can't get enough shading, what we've been asking for is, if we can't get enough shading, we ask for a white roof. As far as the waivers, I mean, I certainly don't have a problem with no sidewalks on Bethlehem Pike. We can discuss curb and sidewalk up Forest.
the sidewalk on Forest. The discussion was it's kind of firm there too.
Yeah.
There'd be extensive grading.
Yeah, it would be a tough one.
And it just is a roadside swale, so if we were to curve, we'd be dropping inlets in and stuff like that too.
Now, you did ask for sidewalk on the other side of Forest. it's an easier topography to do, but just a reminder.
And our entrance would have, assuming that like comments on. Like people leave or saying, well, to get wherever that network may be.
Yeah, it's a policy decision, if you want to
Right.
say that. This isn't necessarily the type of business that's gonna get walking traffic,
Right.
but it's not necessarily gonna be the business that's there forever, so.
Understood.
And
With the work that we're doing outdoors.
yeah, and maybe there's some logic to having something from the intersection to the driveway. Because it's residential past that. I'm not sure, how the topography looks in that area.
So you're talking about the north side of Forest?
Going to residential property.
From, no, the other way, from,
There's a very large ravine there. Dropping
right
off
at the
the
intersection,
road.
right from that
Um,
culvert there, yeah. Yeah,
If you need me to get it to work, I think I can do it, but again, the grading is very tough in that location and even trying to make it potentially less than 5%. That would probably be, yeah, it wouldn't be ADA accessible. Off the top of my head, I didn't do this count.
right, I don't disagree with you that it's difficult on that side of the street.
Would you need to do more clearing to put sidewalks in?
Yes, all those trees in the front there, it's heavily treed right there.
Yeah,
All those would be removed. Some of them will be removed for the roadway widening,
right.
but yes, if we were to do sidewalks, there'd be even more trees getting.
And if you did it on the other side, out to the corner, what do we gain from that in the future? We need a crosswalk from
Then you have to cross the
their facility, and then where does it go once you get to that
Like
corner?
clear sight going up that hill to that peak too is not the greatest.
For a crosswalk?
Correct. Yes.
Gotcha.
Coming from down Forest.
Understood.
towards-
Yep.
until we have a traffic signal.
A circle.
There you go.
I mean, if the whole PC district builds out,
Right.
that would be a different circumstance there. It's a little bit hard to envision it at this point. with
Right.
So little development up there.
I believe that's that veterans office too.
We have W's across the street.
Does have any comments on the sidewalk?
Kind of torn. I think it'd be good to push for sidewalks, especially with the residential area, but also not sure we want to be encouraging people across F1 Pike at that point.
I would agree with that. But again, if, as things build out, if they do build out. We would,
Well, that's.
right.
That opportunity.
Right. Yeah, we'd be collecting your fee in lieu.
Build.
All right. Any further comments on this? And you're gonna work on the street trees?
Yes.
That would be part of the.
You have anything else you want to add, Steve?
No.
So you're not looking for preliminary tonight?
There's enough here probably to clean up
Right.
and then and check on that. So this might eliminate. Wait from the buffer because or just vegetation is good. That. We might as well check it out. See, work revised. So start our planning module. I mean, getting the sense of where it's shape. Your planning module start to get our yes process started.
Okay.
That's kind of.
I know you have a question. Just give me a second, okay? Thanks. So we're not going to take any action. We can vote the table till we get more clarity.
Public comment first.
Is there any information that I can provide to the meeting for you regarding sidewalks that you think of? To provide a clearer picture, I might have one more slide there. That. One more maybe, no, sorry. I have some shots in the. There's no cars coming. I took some shots at the corner there and you can
Must
see
have
it's kind of.
Fast shutter speed.
Oh, there it is, yeah.
Yeah.
It drops off very steeply.
Yeah, it does.
There and then builds back up again right
Yeah.
in that corner. On the opposite side of Forest Road, I think you would still be looking at removing some trees there too.
Right.
But I think the grading is a little bit more.
All right.
And I believe that stretch of road is a handful of single family residentials.
Yeah, it's
I
just
don't
that
think it would service.
it's probably three homes there. All right. Yeah, I mean, if you can put something conceptual together, we'll take a look at it. Most likely it's not gonna,
You would like me to lay out a sidewalk
on the north side.
on the opposite side of Forest Road?
Yeah. All right, so we're gonna vote the table, but I'm gonna open the floor for public comment. So come on up to the podium. You have to state your name and address. You.
Good evening,
Yeah.
Commissioners. My name is Margie Swart, and I own the adjoining residential property.
Okay.
We bought it in 2012 to be able to provide affordable housing for him. He's been there since 2012. We've been he'll be there for another. They never friends to your family, but I must say, never been late on rent, never. He's a great tenant, great neighbor to this business. I'm not here to oppose the development at all, but I do have a couple of concerns. I don't know if this was forwarded to the township engineer or the applicant. But on April 30th, I responded to an email to the township manager. He was very helpful, provided me all the plans and review letters. And as I said to him, I wanted to assure him and the applicant that my husband and I do not oppose development on the subject property. We want to be good neighbors, but we also want to make sure our property and drinking water are properly protected. Our concerns and requests are as follows. They're short, just two. First, we would like confirmation that the proposed septic system location complies with the state mandated setback requirement of 50 feet from our individual water supply system. To our knowledge, our well is relatively quite shallow based on information provided when we recently had a new well pump installed. I think it's only 32 or 35 feet. I was unable to see where the well is going to be.
Right in this general vicinity, like right here. And then we did have the septic proposed up here.
Right.
There's the same amount up there. And I will confirm if that's it.
And I do have pictures of where our well is located. It is really close to the
Okay.
property line where you are. And then second, given the nature of the proposed business, including the operating hours, dumpster location, and the types of vehicles expected to enter and exit the property, we are requesting that a fence be installed along the shared property line up to the maximum height of 8 feet, which is allowed by ordinance. And actually listening to the discussion, I have a great idea for that topsoil. If a berm could be made along the property line.
Maybe you should let me in that.
Yeah,
we do. We're not supposed to-
So at that time, 2.5 months ago, I did ask, please let me know what assurances or conditions can be provided to address these concerns before the hearing. I do just, want to leave you all, if you're able to see, that lot and what's proposed for that lot, but I'd like you to see how close, the home is. Our location is also underneath. So you can see the residence is, on, and please look at the other pictures, and if you have any questions. Now, the one that I took from online, you'll see moss on the roof, we would have to, roof replacement. So, the more recent photos that I took in April or May, well, I guess you can see the new roof on there. But, anyway, I really request and would appreciate if the commissioners would require, an 8-foot fence along the property line. I did see in section 450-1704, buffer yards. This would be a type 1 buffer as it's, between a residential and a non-residential lot. Obviously evergreens, and then berm and fences may be required. And I would like you to consider and maybe encourage, maybe, request, that a berm and fence on top of it, or fence and, evergreens would be greatly appreciated. Thank you. Oh, I did have a couple last questions. Again, the bungalow's been there for 80 years. As you know, the Forest Road between Old Bethlehem and New Bethlehem, there's 3 or 4 homes there. I understand the zoning ordinance that was amended back in 2011 or 12, whatever it was. It went from residential in that area to commercial. So I know what's allowed, but given that situation and circumstances, I think things are fair and reasonable. Thank you for your consideration.
Thank you.
Thank you. One question for you. Would you allow them onto the property to survey, locate the well?
Yeah, and I think if you look at the, all of these pictures with these fine gentlemen, the picture with the little pipe and the
Mhm.
fence, see that,
Well cap.
the well
Yep.
right there, and then when we were standing on their property, or I was standing on their property, you can see the plants right there again.
Yep.
I mean, it's
Uh,
close to where, the septic is.
They would have to have that verified before you get their permit, correct?
Yes.
So, right. Right. So you got the Department of Health on your side for that issue, and we'll work on the fence.
Yeah, but, you know, my brother's actually looking forward to someone next door. He said he had the previous owner's phone number, application. Keep an eye out on things and. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you.
So would your applicant consider putting up a fence?
Well, I think
Your client, I should say.
Because Justin and I were talking about that issue. Type of trees that are suitable, right? Are they really?
We can look at that when we're looking at the conditions of the site. I think there's some provisions in the ordinance for alternate buffer. Worst case, it's a waiver to allow the fence as an alternate buffer to X amount of plantings or something.
Sorry, but would it be a waiver or variance? Because that is, the buffer yards are in the.
Let's do it this way. Let's look at.
Yeah, let's figure it out. What I'm saying waivers, there's another clause in the zoning ordinance that says there's some flexibility to based on existing vegetation. And it'll probably be looked at that way instead of truly a variance. If we come up with an alternate that's appropriate for the existing conditions on the property.
Yeah, that was actually.
More public comment. Come on up. I'm sorry.
My name is Ross Wexler, 2135 Stoners Road. I was just listening to the whole thing and I noticed arborvitae's. I'm not sure what the exact purpose of arborvitae's is of the project, if it's to create a, shade or barrier or whatnot, but just as a recommendation, maybe possibly looking into species that are native. One thing with arborvitaes is I rarely see them do well when there's a high deer population. You're basically gonna have sticks at the bottom and then sticks at the top. So if you're using it as a barrier, that might not work. There are many other things, eastern red cedars, eastern hemlocks. One is for sun, one is for shade. If you want to do bushes, other things, there's a lot of options to stick to native.
Mhm.
That if you use them, they are going to grow better than not. That was all. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else? All right, we'll move forward. So we want to vote to table this. Get more information.
Make that motion.
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, opposed, motion carries. All right, wait to see what you come back with. You got it. Have a good night. All right. Oh, the Gunsters are up. How are you? Good. We're a third of the way there.
Good evening, Scott McCacken with Cowan and Chesapeake. Yeah, project before you is minor subdivision. It's probably about 60 acres in size. Frontage on Draft Allen County Bridge Valley Road. The proposal is to carve off a 4-acre lot for single family dwelling. Off of Draft Road. Leaving about 54 acres remaining. The intent is to carve this lot off and have a conservation easement. Parcel of the 54 acres. We do have a May 7th review letter from Steve. I certainly go through it. They're all likely minor comments and work implies. We do have a number of waivers that we're asking for. And I actually do have an updated letter with just a few minor ones added that I can go over with the planning commission. But in general, this is the overall parcel here, the 4-acre carve out is here next to the other two single family lots. Would you like me to just go through the letter?
If you don't mind, if there will complies again, it says will comply, Steve, talk about on
The comment about the building chart. The solution there, so we'll take care of that and we'll comply. Comment number 2 about the dedication, the ultimate right of way along the road frontages, and we will show that as offered, and then the township can make the determination whether they want to accept it. Item number 3 is a comment about some of the waivers that the waiver letter that I just passed out kind of outlines all the frontage improvements, a separate line, but essentially the curbs, the sidewalks, landscaping, street trees, lighting, partway width, all those issues are in the listed. Item number 3 kind of itemizes those all in one comment and as the contribution in lieu of the will comply. The comment number 4 is a comment about the driveway entrance, making sure that we have light distance. There might be a need to have a little bit of clearing along the front of which it will comply. Item number 5 is a comment about the unlocked sewage. We did have the septic tested. We do have the location noted in the plan. Finish off the planning module, which will comply. Item number 4 is a comment about the field of wetlands. Will comply as well with the room to requesting that field of wetlands. Item number 7 is a comment about the stormwater management for lot number 1, and that is one of the items that we added to the waiver list. On page 2 of the waiver letter, 8, 9, and 10 are kind of folded there. They haven't added from the original, waiver list. So number 8 is a request for stormwater management, total development of the lot, lot number 2. And that requested really, we don't have a solid design for what the house and driveway are going to be. We want to kind of get through the subdivision first and get that done, and then move into the design of the development of the lot. So we were just requesting essentially a deferral of the stormwater management and the number 9 is DNS until we move into that. We're going to need this, submit the grading and DNS and stormwater management permits after this lot is created. So we've got to get a deferral for those. So that's comment number 7. Comment number 8 is the conservation district, and then the deferral from comment number 9 again. Comment 9 is a letter about the property modification and so there the local apply. Comment number 10 is a comment about the financial security agreement. That's a will comply if the deferral is granted. Item number 11 is a comment about the plan scale. That's the additional comment waiver request item number 10 there. Given the lot size, which we have it as a 1 inch and 120 scale, which is not compliant with the ordinance, which is probably 150. And then comment number 12 are just the engineering and drafting comments, which are all minor drafting cleanup items. And that
I just want to touch back on a couple of things. So for the sewage planning module, I presume you'll ask for non-building waiver for the conservation easement property.
That is correct.
Okay.
So lot number 1, we're going to be getting the planning module. And it was tested by DW Associates. We found that the primary and the spot that were noted, located on the plan. We'll finalize those planning modules for lot number 1, and then lot number 2, the revenue track is serving that.
And that should be fine. The right notes on the plan and we'll sign whatever that certification if we need to. And then I would say on the deferrals, we've done that before on some small projects when they didn't have the design ready yet. The way the township has done it is they'll record a restriction on the lot that says before you can get a building permit, you'll have to do X, Y, and Z, which will be get the stormwater permit, your ENS permit. I would add the driveway permit. You don't have to do the final driveway design. We still want to know that this have the site distance there, but you wouldn't have to do the design for a pipe and paving and all. And the escrow for stormwater management. So essentially, I would say items 4, 7, 8, and 10 from my letter would be part of that deferred covenant, and they would be covered in covenant on the property. Of course, if that's acceptable to the planning commission.
No, it makes sense. I know we've done it in the past.
Yeah.
All right. So you want to get into the other waiver?
Yeah, so the waiver letter, again, item number 1 is a waiver from the providing a sketch plan for the residual tract. We're asking for waivers from that because we're planning on conserving the residual tract.
Right.
Item number 2 is a lot check with Greenfield. Item number 3.
What is that? I was trying to figure out. Are the lots typically deeper than wide? Supposed to be deeper than wide?
There's a ratio that's in the ordinance.
It's supposed to be 1 as deep as it is wide, or I think maximum of 3, 1, 3.
Yeah, so this one's actually wider than it's deep,
So
right?
this is-
It's,
yeah, so this, permanent track is wider than deep.
It's
So,
just- it's a technicality.
Right. And the conservation people don't seem to have a problem with that if they're getting a big lot.
items 3.
No, it's a
4,
township.
What's that?
It's a township conservation easement, so.
That'd be the township getting.
Gotcha.
Items 3, 4, and 5, 6, 7 are all related to that. It's the road frontage. So that's have them separated out, but they're essentially all So for sidewalks, landscaping, trees, like, both those like.
Right.
I think it's good.
Any comments from you guys? Questions? Is there any reason to not grant preliminary on this?
No. I mean, there's a lot of cleanup items, but none of them will affect the configuration of the lot or what they're proposing.
Could we go to preliminary final conditional?
Yes.
All right, so before we do that, I'll open the floor to public comment. Anyone? Okay, no public comment. You guys have any other conversation about this or you want to recommend, vote to recommend? We want to make that motion?
Yeah, I'll make that motion for what conditional preliminary.
Preliminary final.
Preliminary final.
Conditional preliminary final.
Conditional preliminary final. Second. All right, all in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Good luck. Yucks. All right. So we never really voted to approve it. Neighbors. All right, minor technical. That's a good. It's one of the conditions. Thanks for clearing it up. All right, so St. Luke's, you're on deck. How are you? Good.
Also, very Associates, just in regards to the Grandview Health, 100 Toronto Avenue. So currently right now, there's an existing, parking. They have relocated going to relocate the occupancy in there, and they're looking to expand the parking. Park in front, back, only park in the back.
Right.
They're looking to, this hospital or the expansion they recently did, there's a fourth floor. Right now. So, they're winging for occupancy in there, so they're looking for more parking. This is kind of in advance of that. So-
Right. Is the building they want to raise, is that the human resources building?
Correct.
Okay.
So if you want to go to the second.
Just to clarify what you were saying, Paul. Even though they're fitting out the fourth floor now, that was included in the overall parking calculations for the site. So this is not necessary because they're adding that usable square footage. This is convenient parking.
Okay, right. Which is warranted there.
To their, actually, this is layout based on the comments that I got. We're actually looking at, we probably want to close this off here, have this kind of a dead end, so we've got the front on there. And what that will do is, right now, this is not a the width of this roadway about here is only with about 2-way traffic down here. We've got 5 more. There's soil here and it's very steep.
Yeah.
So, I believe it would be under consideration, if you do allow turnarounds, but it's more on your consideration. So, I know this is only a sketch plan review, so I'm just kind of giving your feel for how you feel that, or that's something that's okay. What we'd be looking at is probably having these striped out, so if they came out here, they could turn around and back up. Instead of having 2 ways down here.
Right.
There's no building here, there's no trash, so there's no large vehicles that'd be going through here. It'll be just,
Visitor parking. See any issues with that, Steve?
No. Yeah, you just need to rearrange it
Configuration needs to be changed a little bit, but there will be.
to make sure that you could get a, a T kind of
Fire
turnaround.
traffic is gonna show that. This is more just to make it, before we went to that extra slide, before we submit a preliminary approval.
Right. What's the plan for the elevation change between that front lot and the,
So we are gonna actually, we are gonna kind of look at it. Originally, we were looking at, because this is hot, this is higher here and then it drops down.
Yeah.
So we were actually looking to drop this down so we can make this turn. Now that we're done, not going to do that, we're actually gonna look to see if this can raise a little bit to actually bring stone up. This two basin there. I've not had a chance to look at the grades yet. so
Right.
that works. Project is in the big one. So that'll be something that will be shown once we that exercise before it's. There are two other things as far as relief that we'd be looking for to just kind of once again get your feel. One would be kind of what was mentioned in the first one as far as the landscape parking, curved islands, and also the shading. This obviously is from there where it's not wooded and all that, and yeah. This is already taken up with the basin. There's not much room here for trees, and over here is already developed. So the part that's in here obviously is the hospital. There's a large existing trees here. This is once again not residential, so that may be something we obviously be looking to kind of get relief a little bit on that. We will provide some landscaping, but based on where the property is and slope and all that, exactly what's in the ordinance. So it's more, at this time, I don't know what that would be, but it's more, does that seem like that would be something that you give it a review and separate to or
we ever like transferred that to another area?
Yes.
Shading? I
Well,
think we
a
have.
lot,
Is
yeah.
there anywhere you can do that?
What we usually have an applicant do is do the shading calculation, figure out approximately how many trees it would take, how many trees you can install there, see what the deficit is, and then we discuss whether or not there was somewhere else on the site. I don't know on this site,
this side is pretty wooded in the back. I'm not.
and we planted up pretty much everything else
The
on,
last one,
on the property.
Right.
Is there a fee in lieu or like
Well, that-
another area that?
There's another area.
Pay for the trees that you don't put in.
Right. It could be, I mean, the ordinance actually allows them to be transferred on the township property, like if the.
Right.
If the township wants some trees in the park or a fee in lieu of is always an option too.
Have we done, asked for concrete for less of the heat island?
Well,
Concrete instead of blacktop
we,
Lighter color.
Oh.
for the heat island.
right, on other commercial sites, the township and the plan commission has been looking like, what other kind of offsets can we have for the shading issue? And as you heard us discuss earlier, white roofs is one thing, and especially on the warehouses, some concrete in the loading area, get you that kind of benefit. We haven't done it in just a straight up parking lot,
Right.
per se. But I would start with just doing the calculation, see how many trees, it may only be 6 or 7 trees that we're talking about. It may not be, like, we've had developments where, it was 100 trees that was short, but this may not be. May not be that significant.
Once again, we just kind of wanted to present this.
Sure.
We're looking at doing what we kind of presented in general layout. And on the next day.
Understood.
Questions?
Is there anything else in the review, Steve, that we need to talk about?
No, I think, one of the bigger issues was just how that integration of the alley, we'll call it an alley there, with that shared driveway.
Right.
You remember that's what used to go back to the machine shop.
Right. Yep.
Now it's a service house back there, and it's the emergency access for Oakwood, or no longer Oakwood, but the Toll Brothers development back there.
Yeah, I'm sure we can make the shading work. I'm not too concerned about that. Eliminating the drop into that shared lane probably makes the most sense.
Doesn't the fact that there's an existing building there kind of offset the need for additional shading? I mean, it's not like you're taking down trees to build a bigger parking lot. You're taking out a building to build a bigger parking lot.
Yeah, I mean, the square footage
Is it, right?
is it growing at all?
It is growing a little bit.
Right.
Go back to the ocean. I don't know if I had that. Yeah, it's growing a lot. I mean, I think it's growing to about here, so it's another like 20
And
feet or something.
Right.
some of that front yard area in the house.
Couple parking lot and then basically.
It's a good reason for a basis for a waiver to say it's not that much more impervious,
Right.
that wasn't shaded now.
That's a good point.
That's gonna be later.
You're giving away money. No, that's,
Get out my credit card.
yeah. Yeah, so I don't have an issue with, what you're proposing. Yeah. No, I'm good.
Yeah.
So you don't need anything but just input
Just
tonight?
input was tonight, yeah.
Right.
We plan on, putting this, we plan on submitting for a final, hopefully go well since it's a small project.
All right, before you go, let me see if there's any public comment. Any public comment on this project? Okay.
Yes, and probably the next few months.
Okay. Does anybody have any opposition to this? All good?
Just need to recuse myself.
You work for us, yeah. We still have a quorum too. All right. Well, then, yeah, we'll see what we come back with.
Thank you so much.
You got it. Thanks. Have a good night.
Good night.
All right, what else we got? Old business. I have no old business. Anyone have any old business?
I've got another speech.
Pardon
I've got another speech
me? In old business?
in old business.
Okay.
Data centers.
Speak clearly so I can,
Sorry. Data centers. I haven't given up yet, but I'm running out of steam. So during the public comment portion of last month's Board of Supervisors meeting, I made a comment on the topic of the Board of Supervisors suggesting a Citizens Advisory Committee be formed independent from the township's involvement. Given more time to form my counter proposal, I'll provide more details here. In forming a citizens group independent of the township's involvement, I believe, is an abdication of the Board of Supervisors' responsibility and obligation to the health and safety of the township's residents. Further, by requiring this group to self-fund the necessary legal oversight and subject matter expertise in order to validate the recommended changes is at best an unacceptable burden on these well-meaning residents. And at worst, a further validation the township believes that their current work is beyond any challenge, either legal or technical, as the board stubbornly intends to proceed on its own preferred course of action without any third-party professional review, ignoring the potential for a costly legal challenge. Ironically, as of this morning on the township's website, there is a post asking for volunteers for a data center ordinance committee, the very same committee that the supervisors declined to be involved with at last month's meeting. I'm fully aware that the Bucks County Planning Commission issued a memorandum on July 1st recommending adoption of this draft. However, we must be clear-eyed about what the review represents. The county performs a routine, high-level advisory check for general planning consistency. They do not conduct deep case law-backed constitutional litigation reviews. The county's signature does not insulate the township from a developer's substantive validity challenge, nor does it erase the direct conflicts with state utility and building code preemptions that remain embedded in the text. Relying on a routine county endorsement to dismiss these fatal flaws is dangerous. The county's letter does not erase the fact that the text is built on legal quicksand that a developer's attorney can easily tear apart in court. The explanation given for not having township input in the group, that it would be too restrictive and take too long because of the steps that would be necessary to organize a township event, seems weak, and shows me that there's a belief that there's enough time to do it over and over, but not enough time to do it correctly, as evidenced by the fact that we are now discussing version 3 of this document, when it would have been done by now if we would have taken a better course of action from the start. I've taken the liberty to propose a schedule and agenda for the township back group to provide an updated data center ordinance and a battery storage facility ordinance. The proposed makeup of the committee would be 1 member of the Board of Supervisors, 2 members of the Planning Commission, and 4 local residences. Additionally, the township will obtain the services of subject matter experts in the area of Pennsylvania Municipal Planning Code, the Pennsylvania Uniform Construction Code, and the Pennsylvania Public Utility Commission rules and regulations. My proposal for the meeting would be on Tuesdays when the Planning Commission doesn't meet. The agenda. Meeting 1 will review Article 1, Section 18, subsections A through E, covering data center development, accessory uses and structures, dimensional standards, sound and off-street loading. Meeting 2 will review Article 1, Section 18, subsections F and G, covering utilities and utility lines. Meeting 3, review Article 1, Section 18, subsections H through M, covering emergency access, height, landscape buffering, lighting, cooling systems, and environmental impacts. Meeting 4, review Article 1, Section 18, subsections N through R, covering construction hours, on-site solar power systems, on-site energy generation and storage, estimated economic impact, and decommissioning. Meeting 5, identify additional requirements and perform a final review and approval. In meeting 6, develop the battery storage ordinance. These will be working sessions. We will roll up our sleeves and go through section by section, line by line through Ordinance 257 until we have reviewed the entire document. By structuring the meetings as I've proposed, each team member can prepare in advance for the specific topics to be addressed at each meeting and to come prepared to discuss each topic. The goal of each meeting is to prepare the exact language to be included in the ordinance. Communication among team members between meetings will be encouraged. However, all communications need to be one-way information sharing to avoid sunshine law violations. I propose that the Planning Commission formally request that the Board of Supervisors reconsider forming a township-sponsored citizens committee to fix this ordinance and also draft a much-needed battery storage facility ordinance. In summary, leaders make things happen, followers watch things happen, and the apathetic just wonder what happened. Let's be leaders for our community. Thank you.
Thank you. So your last paragraph, you want you expect the planning commission to back what you've come up with your plan here?
I'm asking the Planning Commission vote to request the supervisors to reconsider their decision to not get involved in a citizens group.
Okay, I follow.
As you remember last month's meeting, I mean, there was discussion about it,
Whether it would be,
whether they should be involved or not, and if
Right.
they tabled the decision to form the group and instead backed the decision to let people kind of go do their own thing.
right, kind of like we did with Adelphia.
Yes. Versus what we did with the comprehensive plan years ago.
Right, yeah, the comp plan was not a citizens group. It was put together by the township, it included citizens.
Right, there was Supervisor Don Duval, there were 2 members from the Planning Commission, there was a member from the Conservation Committee,
And Bob Strobel.
and Bob Strobel.
I don't know if I'm ready to make that decision tonight, just hearing this, to back what.
Well, I mean, but you can mention tomorrow that we talked about it. And
I can let
since
you.
it's tomorrow.
Read that.
They'll see my 2.5 minutes and they'll shut me down.
I'll let you do it to her, Mike. We do that? That's probably. I mean, I wouldn't mind doing that, letting you read that during the planning commission report, but I don't know. If that's allowed. What do you think, Steve?
I think you should talk to Greg tomorrow.
I'll talk to Greg tomorrow. And then tomorrow night then.
It's tomorrow night then,
Right,
right?
you keep that. I obviously I see your point. I don't like to think that the supervisors are passing the buck and just, trying to appease citizens by letting them have their own group. And potentially not listening to a word they say.
Well, you recall the discussion from last month's meeting. I mean, there's a need for expertise, although, so people just don't kind of make up whatever they want and throw it on a piece of paper and come back with it. And one of the residents asked the supervisor, are you going to fund this expertise that we need? My pockets are only so deep, I think, as I remember the comment that was made. The irony is that if the township is going to fund the technical expertise, then the township has to be involved. They can't fund an independent group disconnected from the township. They're either in or not. You can't kind of be halfway in.
Did you see the agenda for tomorrow night
Yes.
about the professional planner?
And I didn't understand what a professional planner is. So
Basically, it's an expert that can deal with the type of things we're up against with data centers and battery storage. Energy storage.
is it someone who is expert in the area of Pennsylvania Municipal Planning Code, the Pennsylvania Uniform Construction Code, the Pennsylvania Public Utility Commission rules and regulations?
My assumption is yes.
My assumption was no, so we'll see what happens tomorrow.
Right. I mean, he's apparently he's a well-known statewide planner. Who is basically hired by municipalities to take care of this type of situation. So we'll see what they had to say about that tomorrow night.
Okay.
Getting back to your letter. I'll talk to Greg tomorrow about how your info can be presented, because you won't make it in 2.5 minutes at the end of the meeting.
Yeah.
Well, you know what, people, like what's been happening, people give up their time.
Yeah, that's
That's a
corny.
What would happen if the letter was submitted to the planning commission?
Well, it's submitted to us. We have to review it for next month, I guess. Whatever, but we have to review it. Can't make a decision on it tonight.
No, but I'm just thinking if it was submitted, could you provide copies to the supervisors
Oh.
or something?
Suppose.
Well, if it goes,
Email me a copy of that.
if it goes into the minutes, then you always say review the minutes, watch the video.
Right? Can you email a copy of that to me tomorrow, or email it right to Greg, and I'll call Greg about it.
Okay.
I understand where you're coming from. I don't want to, you're making the supervisors sound like they're just trying to appease the public. And I don't think that's the case. I think they're willing to listen to outside professionals, outside being outside elected officials, outside being still in the township. But let me see what Greg has to say tomorrow. But I don't want to paint the supervisors in a bad picture because of the potential that can happen by having just a citizens group. I think their heart and head is in it, in my opinion, from conversations I had. So let me see what Craig has to say, and we'll go from there.
I tend not to agree based on how the outcome of last month's meeting.
I think part of the reason for going with the citizens group and not being part of a township citizen, legal advisory committee for the township, was the holdup of being an official committee with timelines. Whereas, like you're proposing, one night a month. Whereas the citizens group, if they're doing on.
No, I was proposing one day a week.
Well, that's harsh. You're not asking me to do that, are you?
I left it open for 2. You can nominate Andy since he's not here.
There you go. I'm assuming you want to be on this.
I'm not making any assumptions. That's up to the group. I volunteer my services, but I'm not making any assumptions.
So you'll volunteer to be on the group you want to create.
I didn't want to say it that way.
I probably didn't have to either. All right. Well, let's move forward. go with the plan as I stated. I'll send that to Greg. I'll talk to him tomorrow, see how we want to, see if we can get it presented tomorrow night. And we'll go from there. But thank you for all the digging you do.
Tough being on retirement.
Go help me. All right, any other old business? How about new business? I have no new business. Steve, do we have anything to talk about?
No, just, we will have, there's other plans to be on your agenda next month. I'm not sure which ones will all come through, but would anticipate a meeting. Fusco Heckler will probably be here. That's another lot line adjustment around the Lawn Avenue Select Properties lot that they have agreements with the property owners. They're trying to get done in advance. There's a waiver of land development for a property at Meeting House and I guess that's Clymer, Meeting House and Clymer, an old machine shop down there for a small addition.
Hmm.
So at least, I expect at least those two things to be on.
Right.
What was another one? But, so there's, a few plans out there that are still working its way through the review process.
Gotcha.
So I anticipate that there will be a meeting next month.
You guys have any new business?
I have none.
All right, I'll open the floor to public comment if anyone wants to come up. Seeing none, I'd look for a motion to adjourn.
I'll second that motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, opposed? Motion carries. Meeting is adjourned. Thank you, everyone, for coming out. All right.
Do I get something up?
System.